So this is not a trick question. Can a trans woman chest feed a baby? According to the CDC, yep, they can. It's time now for the other view. Well, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is now publishing advice for trans people who want to chest feed their infants. And this has many people, including our next guest, asking what is going on here. Athlete Riley Gaines voiced her outrage after seeing a photo of a man, a biological man, chest feeding a baby, and then seeing another photo of that same man wearing nipple clamps, something I never thought I'd say on national TV. And former NCAA swimmer Riley Gaines is joining us now. Riley, it gets more ridiculous by the day. And then when you have the CDC actually we're really literally going against science, going against biology, not even taking into account that however a biological man is quote unquote chest feeding an infant, it can't be healthy because that's certainly not a natural thing.
No, it's not a natural thing. These male bodies that are lactating, it's not true lactation. This is pumped with hormones that aren't natural to a woman's body. That's why they're injecting these hormones. And so we have to understand how this baby is not getting the nutrients that it would get from breastfeeding, from lactation, from a woman, because men don't produce those same hormones.
You know, it's interesting, Riley, I think about all of the products that are out there, you know, hormone-free milk. I mean, things that at our grocery store, all the organic foods, because we don't want pesticides. But then the woke culture is going against all of the things that they support from an environmental standpoint and say, but that's okay. If you are a biological male and you want to breastfeed your baby with hormone-riddled milk, we've got our support.
It's ironic because you're right. It's coming from the same party that says follow the science. When it came to COVID and the mask and the vaccinations, they would claim follow the science. But even in regards to women's sports, which I was directly impacted by, competing against a male, they suddenly neglect the science. The science doesn't matter at all because they would rather virtue signal. They would rather be seen as these kind and inclusive and welcoming and accepting and diverse population of people. And so that science that they once claimed they followed goes entirely out of the window.
Yeah, and speaking of competing against a biological male, as we know you did, I want to get your take on this. North Carolina Governor, Democrat, Roy Cooper, vetoing the Fairness in Women's Sports Act. Now, the bill would have prohibited transgender athletes who were assigned male at birth, I'm not even going to say that, they're biological males, from competing in women's and girls' sports in middle school through college. Something tells me you have an opinion on this.
Look, this is common sense. Governor Cooper joins a long list of Democratic governors who have vetoed this bill, including Andy Beshear of Kentucky, Laura Kelly of Kansas. I mean, the list goes on. So I can't say I'm overly surprised that he would cater to the radical minority. But as I mentioned, it's common sense. Even the overwhelming majority of Democrats know it's lunacy to have men competing in women's sports, but he's not accurately representing his constituents, how the people of North Carolina are voting. And I think this is special, of course, because Peyton McNabb, I imagine you have the video on deck, but they believe the narrative, they push the narrative that it's not really happening here, but that couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah, Riley, while we have you, I have to ask, I mean, you know, you have gone from being a very successful and still a female athlete to becoming a spokesperson, maybe for things you never even realized that you would be talking about, especially on national TV. How has your life changed in this time since suddenly you've become a household name for maybe different reasons than you anticipated?
Drastically, my life has changed. This is never something that I anticipated. This is never something I wanted. This is not something, even still, that I feel equipped for, really. But I see what's at stake if someone doesn't fight for this, which is why I'm willing to. I'm willing to change the plans I had set for myself, which was dental school and pursuing dentistry. Clearly, I'm not working on teeth, but that's something that I'm willing to do because, again, I see what's at stake if someone doesn't.
Well, take it from a dentist's daughter that you are making many people smile. So we appreciate that. Riley Gaines, always great talking to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. She's just so amazing.
I
mean, she gets death threats. She is suddenly thrust into a spotlight that she didn't intend, but she's so courageous.
Exactly. She takes all the heat for all of this. She's out front of this issue. And I commend her for coming on and discussing these types of issues, especially the chest feeding a child. I feel bad for the child at this point.
Well, again, hormones, to an extreme. And again, when you have a lot of people saying, oh, you shouldn't be giving babies or humans at all any unnecessary hormones. But wait, unless it's a transgender woman, a.k.a. biological man. Yeah. Biological man. It's all about the science, and as Riley says, we got to follow the science, but of course, the liberals just don't seem to want to do it.
Well, we'll continue to discuss it right here on Newsmax.